Good morning, El Paso. Good morning. Good morning. It's good to see everybody this morning. Thank you very much, Veronica, for that great introduction. I know everybody knows Veronica Escobar. She's doing a great job in Congress up in D.C., and she rode down with us this morning on Air Force One. It was good to talk to her about the issues going on here in West Texas, which are dear to my heart. Texas is, of course, home, and it's always good to come back to the Lone Star State. Been a while. We've been tied up in D.C. With the shutdown, so it's been a while since we've been traveling and out and about. But it's good to be here today, and it's good to be here with you in El Paso, the sun-scorched banks of the Rio Grande, where the desert meets the mountains, and the spirit of the America West still burns as bright as the Texas sun overhead. You know, and I was just saying, I've flown in from Washington this morning not to deliver a lecture from on high, but to roll up my sleeves alongside you, to look you in the eye and to talk straight about the work we're doing, the challenges we face, and the future we're building together. A lot of people will say this is a political trip. This is not a photo op. This is a working visit to the front lines of America's energy future, right here in the heart of the Permian Basin, one of the greatest energy treasures on the planet. And I didn't come alone with me, like I mentioned, as Congressman Escobar and many other folks who contribute greatly to what we do here in El Paso. Along with me here today, we have welders who keep the pipelines flowing, engineers designing the grids of tomorrow, veterans transitioning from service abroad to service here at home, students at El Paso Community College training for jobs that don't even have names yet. Think about that. Jobs that aren't even on the verge of becoming in existence. Kids today are training for the future, training for jobs that are just not even thought of yet. And families who just want to know when they can flip a switch, the lights come on, and when they fill up their truck, they're not emptying their wallet. You're the reason I'm here. You're the reason we're fighting for energy independence, and you're the reason we will win. Let me begin with a simple truth. America is an energy superpower. No matter what people say, what the pundits say, what the right says, it doesn't matter. We are an energy superpower. We have more oil, more natural gas, more wind, more sun, more nuclear potential, more geothermal heat beneath our feet, and more brain power above our shoulders than any nation in history. Think about that, folks. Any nation in history. And yet for decades, we've acted like a giant with one hand tied behind its back, begging the world to sell us what we could produce ourselves, watching jobs vanish while foreign powers grow and grew rich off our dependence. No more. No more. That's coming to an end. Today, I'm declaring an end to that era of apology and the beginning of a new era of American energy dominance. Clean, reliable, affordable, and 100% made in the USA. This is not a slogan. We've heard so much of those. We've heard made in the USA so much over the years. And does it really mean anything? Does it really mean anything? And quite frankly, folks, it starts with the three unbreakable commitments that this administration is going to make here today. I know in the past 4 years, I've talked a lot about clean energy. I've talked a lot about electric vehicles. And I'm not giving up on my commitment of that. I'm here to tell you, and like I've said many, many times over the past 4 years, we will eventually make the conversion to an all-electric nation. I see that happening. But it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen next year. Some of the people out there are saying it's going to happen in 10 years. Some people are saying it's going to happen in 15 years. I will tell you this morning. The infrastructure is not quite in place. You've often heard about the story of my hometown back up in North Texas. It has one, and they may have more. They may have more. But I know of one charging station for a town with 36,000 people in it. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. So we need to put the infrastructure in place first. That's what we are destined to do in this administration. As long as this administration is in power, we will get the infrastructure in place in this country. First, we will achieve true energy independence within this decade. That is the policy of this administration. Producing every drop of oil, every cubic foot of natural gas, and every electron of clean power we need right here on American soil, made by American workers under American standards. No more sending $100 billion a year overseas to regimes that don't share our values. No more watching gas prices spike because of a conflict 6,000 miles away. No more vulnerability here in West Texas, the Permian Basin. This area alone holds enough natural gas to power every home in America for decades. And we're going to get it out safely, responsibly, and with the best environmental technology in the world. We're streamlining permits that sat on desks for years. We're investing in carbon capture so that we can use our natural gas without warming the planet. We're putting American roughnecks, rustabouts, and rig workers back on the job, earning family supporting wages right here in the communities they love. And I know, I visited West Texas, what was it, last year, Midland. That is the heart of the Permian Basin. That's oil country. There are people out here, families, generations, who have worked in the oil fields. And we're going to see, under this administration, we're going to see that continues. We're going to accelerate the clean energy transition, not with mandates from Washington, but with innovation from El Paso. To declare, let's be honest, the old way of doing clean energy, top-down subsidies, foreign supply chains, and virtue signaling targets, that didn't work. You know what it did? It raised electric bills. It killed jobs. And it left us dependent on minerals mined in Congo and panels made in China. We're doing it differently. Today, I'm announcing the launch of the American Clean Energy Corridor. That corridor is a 500-mile innovation zone stretching from El Paso to Midland to San Antonio, where we will build the factories, train the workers, and deploy the technology that will make clean energy cheaper than dirty energy for good. You know, here in El Paso, just here, we're breaking ground on the Sunbelt Battery Campus. That's a public-private partnership that will produce 50 gigawatt hours of advanced batteries per year, made by American hands, powered by Texas Sun, and shipped to Detroit, Atlanta, and Los Angeles to electrify American fleet. And I might also add, made by people with union jobs. In Midland, we're standing up the Permian Basin, the hydrogen hub, using excess natural gas and cutting edge electrophysis. Hope I pronounced that right. I'm an expert at sometimes mispronouncing that. At scale, fueling heavy industry, long haul trucking, and even aircraft without a single tailpipe emission. And across the region, we're investing $10 billion in workforce development, 100,000 new apprenticeships, free community college for energy trades, and a GI Bill for the energy transition. so that every veteran who served overseas can come home and power America's future. This isn't government picking winners. This is America unleashing winners. Third, we will make energy affordable, again, for every American family, because energy independence isn't about geopolitics. It's about grocery bills. It's about whether a single mom in East El Paso can afford to run the AC in July. It's about whether a farmer in the Panhandle can irrigate his crops without going broke. It's about whether a factory in Ohio keeps its doors open or ships jobs to Mexico. So here's the deal, folks. Every policy we pursue, every permit we issue, every dollar we invest will be judged by one standard alone, one standard. Does it lower cost for the American families? Period. End of discussion. I've had numerous talks with my Secretary of Energy, and I've told him, I said, that's the bottom line. We have to lower cost for the American people. That's our mandate, and that's our promise. You know, and that's why we're building more pipelines, not fewer. That's why we're expanding LNG export terminals so Europe buys Texas gas instead of Russian gas. That's why we're cutting the regulatory jungle that adds 30% to the cost of every infrastructure project. And that's why we're requiring that every clean energy tax credit comes with a Made in America label. No exceptions. To the skeptics, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of those out there who say we can't do both. Produce more and pollute less. I say, look around. Look at the solar farms sprouting across the desert. Look at the wind turbines spinning on the plains. Look at the pipelines running cleaner than ever before. And look at the paychecks, real paychecks going to real people who are feeding their kids, paying their mortgages, and building their futures. This is the American way. We don't choose between economic growth and environmental progress. We deliver both. We don't pit red states against blue states. We power them. And we don't leave any worker behind, whether you're on a drilling rig today or a solar assembly line tomorrow. Now, I know there's going to be those who say this is too ambitious, that we should slow down, that we should settle for managed decline. You know what I say to them? I'll reject that completely. America doesn't do decline. Texas, I know, doesn't do decline. And they do not do defeat. And El Paso doesn't do excuses. Folks, we are a nation that split the atom, that reached the moon, that connected the world with a click, and now will lead the world into a new energy age, not because it's easy, but because it's who we are. So the young welder learning to install geothermal loops, your work will cool homes for generations. To the displaced oil worker, now training in wind turbine maintenance, your grit is the same, only the view from top is a whole lot better. Entrepreneur designing next generation nuclear reactors in a garage in Austin, your ideal could power a city. And to every child watching today, the energy that lights your classroom, charges your tablet, and launches your dreams will be American dreams, and they will be made by American workers. So let me say this today, directly to the people of the border region. You know better than anyone what's at stake. You see the trucks crossing the bridge every day, carrying the lifeblood of our economy. You see the potential of two nations working together, not as dependents, but as partners. And you see the human cost when energy policy fails, when prices soar, when jobs disappear. We will not fail you. We will secure the border, we will secure the grid, and we will secure the American dream for every resident, every citizen, every family that plays by the rules and works hard to get ahead. My friends, the sun is shining over El Paso. just as it has for centuries. But today, it raises on a new dawn for American energy, a dawn of independence, a dawn of innovation, a dawn of opportunity. Let's get to work. And we can, folks, we really can. This state has done so much to change the course of this country. Men's missions to the moon were controlled down in Houston. Again, our oil sector comes from the Permian Basin right here in this country. I know we can do this. And with your help, I know that we will achieve this. Thank you very much. May God bless you. May God bless the great state of Texas. May God protect our troops. Thank you all very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.